Thank you, good evening, and welcome to the Hidden Oaks Middle School Spring Concert, Part 2, Night 2. So tonight we have a jazz band playing first, and then symphonic band playing after. Let's see, this has been a crazy year, as you know. It's been crazy hard for everybody, and these kids have worked so hard for tonight's performance, and we're excited to play for you, and despite the challenges, each band has shown tremendous amounts of improvement. A couple of accomplishments that we had this year. We had our first ever successful telethon fundraiser, so give it up for that. That was a huge deal. We raised over $1,000. And then we also had a successful NPA recording. So we performed 3 pieces, recorded them, sent them to a judge, and even though we didn't get ratings this year, we received great feedback. So another big accomplishment for these guys for symphonic band and concert band as well. So some reminders before we start: please keep your mask on at all times and maintain social distancing from the families around you. You guys are already doing that. Thank you so much. At this time, please make sure your cell phones are turned off or set to silence. And if you need to use the restroom, they're out in the lobby. So thank you again for being here, and now you'll hear jazz band play a classic, In the Mood. We were able to practice together and play both of these songs for you. Just so you know, last year and all the years before, jazz band was a class that you took during the day, and we would rehearse every single day at school. This year, we were not able to fit jazz band in the schedule because we had to divide bands so that we could have enough space in the classroom to play. So these students elected to meet after school once a week and practice together for an hour just because they wanted to. It wasn't attached to a grade, it wasn't co-curricular. Jazz band was a club. So these guys are here because they love it, and we're really happy to be able to play for you tonight. And before we start our last song, I do have an award to hand out. So the Woody Herman Jazz Award was created to honor an outstanding jazz musician, and this student has dedicated 2 years to the Holmes Jazz Band. He performed with us well last year and learned a lot, and this year has been a great example of what jazz saxophone sounds like to the new members of our jazz band. And he's been brave in class by always improvising when given the chance, whether he wanted to or not, and has improved those skills as well. And not only is he an excellent musician, he has great rehearsal etiquette and takes every instruction as I give and follows it well. And as an 8th grader, he's going to be so missed, but he'll be playing tenor with the Martin County High School Band and representing Holmes well. Congratulations to this year's Woody Herman Jazz Award, Nicholas Majori. And for before we start our final song, in the mood we have 2 trumpet soloists. So our first solo was by Cassandra Jordan. And our second solo was Scott King, both on trumpet. Now we'll play for you our last piece, Blue Bossa. it is online. So I sent it out as an email if you've been getting my emails, but you can also scan the QR code to look at the program, and I'd love for you to look at the program so that you can see all the names of all these students out here. The QR codes are right at our front entrance in the lobby. So just give us a couple minutes to make a stage change, and then we'll listen to Symphonic Band. Thank you. Well, percussion's finishing up really quick. In our blue bossa, we had Cooper Glenn on trombone as our trombone soloist, and then Nicholas Majori on tenor saxophone. So our first piece for you is the Corral from Jupiter. We have one more selection for you, and before we get to that, we have a couple more awards for our end of our year. So the first one is the Quincy Jones Musicianship Award, and it is awarded to the student that shows the highest caliber of musicianship in our top ensemble. The student has managed to maintain that coveted first chair in their section all year long. She practices hard and it shows. She's always trying to do her best, whether it's with Symphonic band chair placement, playing quizzes, or auditions for high school. She will represent our program so well as she goes on to Martin County to play clarinet. Congratulations to this year's Quincy Jones Musicianship Award, Emma Peck. And we have another award tonight. It's called the Director's Award, and this award is a little bit different. The Woody Herman and Quincy Jones Awards are really directed towards musicianship. The Director's Award not only honors a student for being a talented musician, it honors them for outstanding character as well. The student has shown extraordinary dedication to the Holmes Band program. And as I mentioned earlier, this year we did our first ever telethon fundraiser in which we live streamed our classroom for 6 hours all day. This student spent endless hours and long nights working on the platform that we used to live stream. And he sat behind the scenes all day long and made scene changes and was adjusting the camera and mixing. And he put in his best efforts for the greater good of our program. And, obviously it was all for free. It was the kindness of his heart. He has also been an excellent member of both our jazz and symphonic band for the past 2 years for outstanding achievement and continuous contributions to the success of the Hidden Oaks Middle School Band Program. I would like to present the Director's Award to Scott King. In addition, quick other thing about the awards. So in addition to receiving their own plaque that you saw me give them tonight, each award has another plaque that's similar, just a little larger, that's hung in our band room, and it has several spots on it. And every year, whoever is awarded these awards has their name engraved in the plaque. So they have that hanging in the band room so that their achievement can be honored even when they move on to high school. Again, congratulations to all of our award winners tonight. I would now like to recognize all of our 8th graders. So these students are so important to the success of our program, and they've dedicated 3 years, or even if they only dedicated 1 or 2 years, we appreciate them so much for sharing their knowledge and experience to those younger students around them. And really helps lift them up and makes our band program better and better and better every year. They will greatly be missed as they go on, and when I'm gonna say all of your names, so when I say your name, just stand up, and then if you could wait to applaud until the end, just so that we can recognize all of our 8th graders. So again, when I say your name, stand up. Victor Camacho, Sarah Cannon, Ella Carbaugh, she's percussion, Lauren Feeney, Madison Feeney, stay standing, there we go. Alejandro Fries, Amy Galvin, Cooper Glenn, Carter Grimans, percussion, Jackson Henderson, percussion, Elena Hurt, Cassandra Jordan, Bryce Keene, Scott King, Jolene Lee, Nicholas Majori, Dylan Marsh, Ethan Matos, Sean McAllister, Ruby Miller, Nico Morgan, Gabe Pius, Emma Peck, Reese Rinderkit, Allison Ryan, Jacob Sheldon, Abigail Sikowski, Genevieve Waters, Katie Waits, Ross White, Miller Yates, and we have 2 other that were virtual who couldn't be here tonight, Aiden Joe and Kyle Stevenson. Let's thank our 8th graders. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you again. And now we will play our last piece for you. It is one that they all voted on, so we're very excited to play it, called Cartoon Symphony. ahead and break down all the chairs and the stands. So all of our chairs and stand racks are over here. Make sure you stack your chair and your stand, bring it to the band room. I asked them to do this first, and then they will grab their stuff and meet you guys right outside the lobby. So again, thank you so much for being here, and I'd also like to thank our administration for being here. We have Mr. Hendricks, Dr. Jones, and Trisha Elliott.